Motorcycles, haunted schools, and a giant centipede. We have a fun one today, I think. Welcome back, most amazing family. You already know why you're here. These are the top 10 most horrifying things recovered from Japan. Let's dive in. Kicking off the list at number 10, a ghost ship. Sometimes you find Lego washed up on a beach, like in our last couple of videos we talked about some fun things washed ashore, but sometimes you find 8 skeletons. Yeah, you heard me. Back in 2017, 8 bodies, all skeletons at this point, were found in a small wooden ship after it washed ashore in the Sea of Japan. This happened about 70 kilometers from a marina. The same marina, the police found 8 men from North Korea. They were fishermen whose boat stopped working. Kinda weird, right? 8 skeletons found in a boat at the same time as 8 fishermen getting stranded. Pretty horrific sight to see walking along the beach as well. Could you imagine finding that? To dive deeper into this story, experts believe North Korea's food shortages could have been the cause behind a series of North Korean ships in the area. See, fishermen were forced to venture far out for food at this point, ill-equipped. This resulted in over 200 vessels being found across Japan's west coast. Some were found completely abandoned, others were sadly found like this ghost ship. Number 9, a motorcycle. After the 2011 tsunami in Japan, many belongings of course were lost to the deep sea. The powerful massive waves that ripped through once pushed a Harley-Davidson all the way to British Columbia's west coast, all the way over here to Canada. It was the first piece of tsunami debris to wash up on Canada's shore. The motorcycle was Japanese registered and it was inside a styrofoam-lined container. That was the secret to its long commute. Come April 18th, 2012, its journey had been completed, and the container was found by a man named Peter Mark while he was four-wheeling on Graham Island Beach. The back door of the container was missing and then a motorcycle wheel was just popping out, so obviously he took a closer look. My dumbass probably would have tried to start it. Missing a tire and covered in barnacles. I'm like, maybe. Number 8, the Yonaguni Monument. Hold your breath for this next one because we're deep diving. Because we're diving deep. We're deep diving deep. Back in 1987, a diver off the coast of Japan's Ryukyu Islands discovered these odd-shaped rocks 25 meters below the surface of the water. He found these steps almost. It looked like an underwater pyramid. There's like these clear carvings. What exactly is this? It catches the eye. It's nicknamed Japan's Atlantis. The Yonaguni Monument is 50 meters by 20 meters. It's about 10,000 years old. Many believe this is the location of an ancient city lost to the sea over thousands of years, while others believe it's natural erosion to blame. 90-degree angles are hard to argue sometimes. Like cubic pyrite crystals, they have natural angles. In this case, it looks man-made. So what do you guys think? Man-made ancient city or some rocks? Sound off in the comments. Number 7, round schoolhouse ruins. Okay, we're getting spooky now, so turn your screen brightness up for this one. The round schoolhouse ruins is in a town called Bebai. It was built in 1906 but abandoned in 1974. With most of the furniture still left over after the school closed, it's a pretty grim sight just off the bat. It's in the middle of the woods, there's desks all over the place, the ceiling is covered in mold, it's dripping, and the windows are busted. It's not pleasant. So of course, people go inside at night with flashlights to explore and get spooky or whatnot. As I'm saying this, you're probably like, where are these? You freak. Tales quickly began to spread about the school because everybody who left there after exploring were traumatized. People heard voices while they were in there. Doors would slam. It was in the middle of the woods and these dark shadowy figures would surround the building, apparently. Who would ever explore an abandoned school in the middle of the night in the middle of the woods? Not me, not this guy, no thanks. And hopefully not you. Be safe, wear glow sticks, and just stick to the neighborhoods when you go on your walks. Ghost hunters have called the site an interdimensional portal. Damn, student loans must be pretty insane if that's the case. Number 6, Mount Osor. Translating to Mount Fear, which reminds me of Ocarina of Time right off the bat, this area is known as the entrance to the afterlife, so buckle up if you're a believer. This mountain range features all the geographical elements that are similar to the Japanese Buddhist descriptions of paradise and hell. There's 8 symbolic mountaintops, and again, I'm getting some serious Zelda vibes here, 8 specifically, it's like, okay. There's a lake also with acidic water that only one species of fish can survive in. Okay, so now we're talking about an acid lake. This is definitely, is this real? On top of that, there's pits full of vipers. I'm gonna throw up. There also lies a river that's known as the border between Earth and Hell. So you better bring some goggles. You might be swimming with Satan by accident. Along this river, you'll find statues and offerings, gifts to the other side, and they're intended to help the past souls find their way during this journey to the afterlife. You wouldn't want to get lost being so close to the underworld and all. Every year from July 22nd to the 24th, those wanting to communicate with the dead must travel to the temple at this mountain range in order to communicate with spiritual mediums called the Itako. So if the Ouija board isn't cutting it, pack your bags and head to Japan. Number 5, the Whispering Tunnel. Inukane Pass Tunnel, aka the Whispering Tunnel. Okay, this one's scary. Of course, I had to mention this one. It's pretty popular already, and if you don't know, now you're about to. The tunnel is apparently so haunted by the ghost of a young girl. It's always a young girl. Always. Rumor has it, if you enter this tunnel, one of the most haunted places in Japan, I'll say again, you'll hear, you guessed it, her whispering voice. You'll hear the whispers of her spirit telling you to stop or to turn back. Be honest, would any of you actually turn back after actually hearing something if you went to this tunnel purposely? Those who dared enter this tunnel reported a poking feeling, like something was almost shoving them or trying to move them. That's pretty creepy. Also, I'm on my way. Number 4, a new species. It's not every day you discover an entirely new species in a parking lot, but here we are. Back in 2018, a new type of tardigrade was found. A little tiny microscopic little water bear. The species, called Macrobiotis shanaicus, is the 168th tardigrade discovered in Japan. Nice. There are these water bears found in moss and soil. This new species was found around somebody's apartment. How casual is that? If you're into plants, check them when you get home. The venom symbiote may be lurking in the soil. To the naked eye, these things really don't exist. They're tiny little creatures, but up close through a microscope, they're horrifying. They're caterpillar-looking creatures with 3 rows of teeth, like circle rows of teeth. They look like sandworms from the movie Dune. So if you've seen that recently, that's all around you right now. You may have just breathed one in. I definitely just did. Number 3, fake news. Shinichi Fujimura. Okay, so back in 1981, they discovered stonework that dated back to 40,000 years ago. This was a huge deal, of course. His name was everywhere. Students were going on field trips to these sites that he uncovered. He visited like 150 sites in total and just found these rocks. This guy rose to fame, and come 1999, he had his work laid out on display in national historical sites. But when 2000 rolled around, his life changed. Did he discover new stones? No, someone discovered his bull. He was caught on tape positioning fake artifacts at these sites. 61 fake artifacts were being used. He would use the same ones over and over again in different locations. This guy would go and bury them and then leave and then come back as if it was the first time he was there with a crew. He's like, oh, I think there's something over here. What? No way. Let's be rich. Not a bad plan, honestly. Out of 31 pieces found at the historical Kamita-Kamarori site, 27 were fake. He really rocked the world with that one. This is why you always dig a little deeper. We really uncovered the truth in that one. I have like 15 more. Number 2, a new predator. Okay, so we talked about those tiny water bears and how a new species was discovered, but how about a new apex predator? Yep, here we go. A new deep sea fish was discovered back in 2016. Marine biologist Yoshira Fujiwara found it off the coast of central Japan. They referred to the fish as a living fossil because it looks disgusting. It's an absolute nightmare. Look at those teeth. It's just, no thanks. The Yokozuna is at the top of its food chain. They're strong swimmers and they have a big mouth. One bite and this thing can gulp Nemo and his dad. Done, instantly. Movie over so fast. They're over a meter long. How it wasn't discovered sooner, I have no idea, honestly. The term Yokozuna is a reference to a professional sumo wrestler's top rank. So compare that to something like, a clownfish. It's game over, you're done. Fish scare me, I'm so terrified, let's move on. Number 1, giant centipede. Okay, gotta save the best for last, right? Honestly, I hate centipedes. They're like spiders and snakes mashed up into one. It's a big no from me. This giant centipede was recently discovered in Japan attacking prawns. What a scene. Some would say that's out of a horror film. It measures up at around 8 inches long and 1 inch wide. So not only will you feel it crawl on you, you should definitely see it coming too. And it's fast as shit. It's a beast. It's the first centipede to be discovered in Japan in 150 years. Impressive, yes. Horrifying, also yes. I'm itchy just talking about this thing right now. Japanese biologists arrived at the scene after hearing about this creature attacking rat-sized freshwater prawns. If somebody texted me that, I would sprint over. With a stick, of course. Guys, those were 10 horrifying things recovered in Japan. If a part 2 is in your deepest desires, let us know in the comments down below, and we'll do the rest. I'm Taylor McWaters, and we'll see you next time on Most Amazing Top 10. Peace.